Hey everybody, and welcome. We are back. We are recording again. A bit of a weird one for us. We're recording the week after we did last time, so we're kind of fresh on this one, I guess we could say. We're going to claim it anyway. We're going to claim that we're fresh. We're not, because there's at least one injured person here amongst us, and a couple of other exhausted people amongst because of various life commitments. But we are doing our best. We are all here, and we are going to march through, and we're going to get on with this. I'm going to do a nice quick one because to an extent we are getting into some fairly big numbers for these guys. We're starting to get to a point where they are almost all the way round, like a clock, of this underground level. They've gone through the various parts of the dungeon, and we are really getting into the sort of nitty-gritty of the first underground level of the Abomination Vaults. And so we're going to do nice and quick stuff. We're going to do nice and easy stuff, all the sort of stuff of advertising and everything else. Neffy, you're going to need to very quickly pick up Dando's link again, because I can't remember it. So we use Foundry VTT. You can see at the moment we are currently using the imported maps that come from the PDF importer. Today was the release date for the module, and it released an hour before we started recording, so there was no way, I mean, these guys told me I wasn't allowed to anyway, but there was no way I was getting that all sorted for right now. I have got it, but I haven't got it on here on this server yet. So we do not, on this game, we do not currently have that. We just have the stuff that was imported from the PDFs, but you can still see all the wonderful Foundry VTT stuff when we get to the map. That's what you will see. We will be using Sirenscape for music, even though it failed me last week. I have managed to get it working again on my machine, so you should be able to hear music when we get into the place, but not right now. So we use that. We use Discord for recording everything else. At the moment, I will be looking at potentially upgrading that at some point, getting us a better server. We've been looking at Discord for future other things, but no specific details on that just yet. But we have been looking at a variety of different options that we can do for the 52 people that are still signed up and subscribed to our 52. YouTube. 52. Obviously, the more the merrier. So if you can invite all your friends in, then we'll be chuffed and happy, and that'd be amazing. Get everybody on here. I know at least 50% of people that watch our videos, even if you watch only 5 minutes, this boring 5 minutes at the beginning, are not subscribed. So subscribe and like and comment and share and all the rest of it, and do stuff.
And watch more of it.
And watch more of it. Yes, please. Watch this lot go crazy. And
who, us?
Yes, that you. So that's all the sort of stuff that we do. We have a Facebook group. The link is on the screen just below me, as is our Twitter link down there as well. We post up whenever we're doing the videos, when they're released on YouTube. They are all put onto both of our feeds on there. But in addition to that, that is where you can send us messages if you so desire. If you wish to talk to us, then we do try and pay attention to that as much as possible. Especially the Twitter one, because that comes up on my phone, which is dead simple for me, because I usually look at my phone more often than I look at social media on the computer, if I'm brutally honest. In addition to that, we have had token art produced for us by the wonderful Dando, and those tokens you will be able to see very, very shortly. If you like the stuff that they produce, they are always open for tons and tons of commission work. And that's not just limited to artwork. Dando is an amazing LARP costume producer, LARP prop producer, as well as doing all of this stuff, as well as doing designs for clothing for pretty much anything that you so desire, including like watercolored painted hand-drawn sketches of everything that they're going to produce. So it's real high-quality stuff right from the beginning. The link to them is...
You can normally find them on Instagram, which is at Starkey Studios, spelled Starkey Studios.
Okay, awesome stuff. So we are going to dive in pretty quickly to what we're doing. I'm going to just chuck up the old music, and then I'm going to spin this over to Foundry, where we can see that the group has travelled deep down into the depths of this underground lair. They found a number of like cell-type sleeping chambers where the Morlocks had been, and encountered another bunch of Morlocks that kind of got in their way, but were a lot less of a problem than the previous group had been, what with there being somewhat less of them. On top of that, he says as he tries to adjust something. There we go, that's a bit better. On top of that, there was also the one of the chambers that they opened into. This one had two doors, so you went into the top one first, the northernmost door, and found a small corridor, quite wide in comparison to the other corridors you'd been in, but only 20 foot deep. But every 5 foot step was trapped. And Neffy very, very carefully picked their way across, taking apart each of the traps and getting to the door. When they got to the door at the far side, couldn't really hear anything on the other side, but they had heard something coming from the south. So the group decided, let's go deal with the thing that's making noise. What they discovered was a flesh-warped human in the form of a creature known as a Grothlut. Not a particularly hardy creature, but when it died, it exploded. Now, I did make a minor mistake. I'm going to own up. I'm going to own up to the fact that I did indeed make a minor mistake, because what I did was I got the 3 people that were too close to it to make a saving throw, and on succeeding the saving throw, every single one of them did, I dealt them 3 points of damage, which was half of what I rolled. Apart from the fact that I realised after having another check that it is not a basic save, and therefore making a saving throw avoided all damage. You get your 3 hit points back, guys. That would be Phelan, Inver, and Mosran. You are not hit by the 3 points of damage that I have dealt out to you. Now, I believe that is the only people that were affected. Neffy, the damage you have got is because you were damaged earlier, not because of the explosion. So you do not get 3 hit points back. You are still stuck with your current level. You dealt with all of this, and the explosion went off, and all of a sudden, after sort of kind of stopping and taking your bearings a little bit, you heard noises coming from the north of the chamber. Echoey, because of the natural stone cavern type walls that this chamber contains, and a creature calling out for its pet, checking where its pet was. I believe it was Inska or something like that he was calling out.
Yeah, it could have been anything. Mosran was taking up a defensive position again, tucking into the corner of the rocks with the halberd just starting to get lowered down. Because I don't know what we're doing here.
And yep, you hear a noise of, my pet, what is wrong, my pet?
I'll look over my shoulder and whisper in my totally +1 stealth way. Are we staying? Are we moving? I'll whisper this back to Invar and Phelan. We staying? We moving?
Yeah. If he asks, tell him it just exploded.
Nothing to do with us.
We're minding our own business and it exploded.
I agree with that. I see no problem with this plan.
A couple of minutes later, very, very gingerly, you see one of the Morlocks kind of sneaking across the back wall of the chamber. And it kind of spots Moz relatively easy because you're not exactly difficult to spot, Moz. And then it spots the remains of the Grothlut on the floor. And it kind of looks down to its to the north, to its left-hand side, and looks back at you guys, and looks up to the north, and rather carefully kind of just scurries itself into the corner. Because shortly afterwards, coming round the side, is this guy.
Oh.
Oh, that looks like a perfectly reasonable and rational individual.
Yes.
And
Exactly. Get a picture of me.
It looks down at the creature at your feet. It doesn't really even pay attention to you. And you can see this sort of... It suddenly looks like it's sobbing. My pet. What did you do to my pet?
Did it themselves.
They looked at us funny and exploded.
Yes, it just went pop. I mean, it's Grothlut. They do that. Trust me, I'm a druid.
He kind of looks at you all, and then all of a sudden he kind of straightens himself up.
Now, can we interest you in some nice grief counselling?
What?
Special rates.
You realise that, just out of curiosity, who speaks Undercommon? Because what he's saying is a little bit awkward. It's not real. Or Aklo. Does anybody speak Aklo?
I thought I did in one version of the character.
I have Aklo.
Oh, I do too. I do too.
Okay, so the only two people that are really picking up what he's saying are Nephi and Imva, because he ends up speaking in Aklo. He tried a few words in common, but then has sort of slipped back into... Well, he slipped back into Undercommon, which none of you understood. Then he slipped into Aklo, and then he's realised that somebody's spotting what he says. So
Nothing he said made any impact on what I've just said.
No, that's fair. When he sort of straightens himself up, he kind of looks over at Imber. I am Grolgust. I am the king of the Ghost Queen Morlocks.
Do I have any idea what a Morlock is?
All of these creatures, the sort of big-eyed human aberration type creatures that you've met.
Okay.
I have been expecting you a little bit since we found the remains of my engineers that you dealt with yesterday. Well, I'm being a bit honest here. There's not really clearly much I can do about you. But I do have a request.
I'd be glad to hear it.
Well, there is a rather large water creature that dwells near here. It causes us as many problems as, well, obviously you have. And he kind of looks around and goes, I assume you've encountered most of my people on the way here. Not all of them, mind, before you get any ideas. But yes, it would be advantageous if you could assist with dealing with the water monster for us. If you bring me its head, then there will be at least a certain amount of, well, you will have proven your worth to the Ghost Queen.
Inval, what's he whistling about?
So he's asking us to bring him the head of a water creature.
Is it
and
that
then
Drake?
he will. I don't know yet. I haven't asked him.
Okay, fair enough.
And then he will make note of our worth and praise us to the Ghost Queen. Keep a straight face, guys.
Okay.
I'm gonna-
Hmm.
Perhaps you can give us some sort of, I don't know, identification phrase so we can identify ourselves as to any more of his mates, because the last lot just attacked us outright. And
Yes. So I have 2 requests. I'm talking back to Grothlut. One, that no more of your people attack us. And 2, for any further information you have on this water monster.
I would suggest that should you encounter any more of the Ghost Queen Morlocks, if you announce yourself as lackeys of the Ghost Queen, that will most definitely get you safely through. As for the creature itself, it is cantankerous at best, downright evil most of the time, and likes eating Morlocks. Probably would quite like to eat you as well. It has the ability to fly, but seems to like sleeping in water. I've not gone to see it myself.
How big is it?
Quite sizable, but I would say not much bigger than... He looks round. The green one.
He's pointing at me. Do I need to put something through him?
No, he's saying that the water monster is not much bigger than you.
Oh, okay.
But
it's
it
not
tends
the
to be
duck then.
No.
No, but neither is it a worm.
Okay.
Just be a really big duck.
Yep. Try to local agriculture. How to kill it. More likely to be found
I reckon we
creating a
can
small
do
pond.
that. Shall I tell him we'll do it?
He wants us to take out possibly a water worm, water drake, water creature.
Yeah.
And we get to say that we're minions of this Ghost Queen.
Yes, we would need to introduce ourselves as lackeys of the Ghost Queen if we wanted to pass unharmed.
In what way would we be lackeys?
What we're doing is bidding.
Yes,
Which
and it would
vaguely
mean we don't
strikes
have to
me.
attack and kill any more of them, which would be quite nice.
We're basically saying, hey guys, your boss is our boss.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that fiction if it gets us out of some needless violence.
Boss. I don't want a boss.
I'm erring on the side with Neffy here and saying there might be some very specific violence to mete out.
Oh, specific violence is fine. Needless violence,
Okay.
you know.
It depends on your definition. All
In-
violence
Well,
has need.
Is
if
he-
Right.
we introduce ourselves as working for the same person as they are, maybe there won't need to be violence for us to go and do what we're supposed to be doing.
It's like those lot digging in the rocks.
Hmm.
We didn't need to stab them up, but they forced our hand.
Depending on what they were actually doing, I mean, to be brutally honest, they were immediately becoming a problem because they were attempting to chew on our faces to
Yeah.
them to decrease successfully. It's when they start to pose a threat upstairs that is where specific violence might be needed. We might.
Yeah.
I can work with a deception for now.
I fully agree. If they raise arms against us, then they've made their choice.
Mhm.
But
But we can probably prevent them doing so by giving them the truth. We are, at this point, doing something for their boss.
Mm-hmm. We'll find out what he wants and what his aims are later, because if it goes above this floor, he becomes a problem.
I fully agree.
Okay.
This is simply the practical necessity of the less I have to patch people up,
Mm-hmm.
the more patching people up I can do later.
I can fall in line with that thinking then.
Yep.
So, where's this beastie?
And is he going to give us any specific help other than stopping his remaining individuals from being a problem?
Well, that's when we introduce ourselves as the lackeys of the Ghost Queen.
Mm-hmm. Is he going to provide us with any other help beyond stopping his people?
Oh, no, I get the impression probably not.
Oh. Okay. Were you going to say something there, Neffy? Sorry.
No?
So, what do you want to do?
We're game if you are, Ivar.
I mean, we're probably going to end up having to deal with it anyway when we find it, so
Hmm.
If it's
it's
if
like we
it's,
might as well.
if it's the beastie that's got that burrow out to the surface,
Hmm.
then if we're coming or going, we might get it to the face at a later date.
Yeah, let's deal with him now then.
Yeah,
More expedient threat.
yeah, let's do that.
Mm-hmm. You tell him.
Fine.
I'll speak his tongue.
Yeah, we'll do as you ask.
Very well. There is a tight squeeze through from my throne room. Or, if you go back to the collapsed chamber and through the double doors, then you can follow that route around. Might be slightly better for your fuller sizes. That will lead through to where you want to go. It depends on which you want. You may go through my throne room, though, as I said, I don't think all of you would fit.
Go the other way.
Very well. I will...
Did you say my bum looks big?
He's definitely giving you and me the eye, isn't he, Phelan?
I will
Might have to take one out in a minute.
ignore the fact that you killed my creature for now.
He definitely sounds like and looks like he's wheezing.
Go. Be on your way.
Hands
Come on, gang, let's go.
Yep.
Are we going to need the magic words later? Curse your sudden yet inevitable betrayal.
Mm. Apparently, this is a dank and grim land as opposed to a green and pleasant one. But yes, quite possibly.
Mm-hmm.
May even be calling it his grave. Where are we going again?
Back to the double doors in the collapsed room.
Ah, okay.
So you start to march your way back past all of the bed chambers that you previously opened one by one, into the large room in which you fought 4 of these Morlock creatures. And return back to a set of double doors that you didn't open last time. I will just very quickly, just on a quick check on the assumption that we have Phelan searching, and we have most likely got Mosran scouting, and we've definitely got Nephi stealthing, Invar stealthing as well. That's fair enough.
That is my default.
Okie dokie. Yep, so you get to the double doors. They do look swollen up like all the other ones that you've had round here. So it will take a bit of effort to put your shoulder to the door and give it a shove. But with those of you that are trained in athletics, that shouldn't be too difficult.
Excellent.
Yep.
By all means, click on the door. Okay, so this door opens up into a 30-foot long corridor, east to west, 15-foot north to south. So that's the 10-foot of your door, and then another 5-foot to the north of you. While it is apparent that this large room was originally a kitchen, the furnishings have been rebuilt and repurposed to create an improvised shrine. The western end of the hall, where a large fireplace for cooking food once stood, now serves as an altar of sorts. Looming over a human corpse is a towering statue in a feminine shape made of bones, covered in sheets of mouldering cloth and hanging moss. A bare spot on the room's northern wall has seen decoration with mud and blood to depict the same feminine form as the statue.
Lovely.
Have they come back and take this down at some point? I'm guessing this is the not being a hugely religious individual. I'm guessing this is his ghost queen. If it's in his territory.
I thought the spider introduced herself as the Ghost Queen. Not
Spider?
she?
No, the spider introduced themselves as the Ghost King.
Well, so did he.
He announced himself as the King of the Ghost Queen Morlocks. Slight difference.
Oh, goodness
Yeah.
sake. Right.
Yeah.
People's Front of Judean People's Front. Okay.
Yes!
Well referenced.
Fun pop culture.
Okay, is anybody doing anything while they are in this room?
Stopping Nephi bursting through a door. More pragmatically,
No, I totally would.
more pragmatically, searching for doors and seeing if there's any haunty stuff around.
Detecting.
Okay, so in terms of the detect magic, there is magic somewhere within 30 foot. In terms of the detecting spirits, let's have a quick roll on that one. You do not detect any spirits within 30 foot. And then just in the general searching, who is doing the general searching? Who is just
I will do the
searching
general
room?
searching.
I'm searching.
And Inva was going to do some as well. It is Mosran that will spot that there is a secret door. Well, you know where I said that there was that bland spot, the clean spot on the northern wall?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's the, it's like that because there's a door there.
Yeah.
Does
It's chests up.
anybody else want to do anything else in this room?
If I'm doing my standard, moving out of the way and moving closer, am I able to pinpoint any more as to where this magical thing is?
It's difficult because of the shape of the room, but whatever it is, as you step backwards out of the room, you no longer detect it. As you step into the room, you do detect it, which makes you surmise that it's got to be on that sort of western side, because the room is 30 foot long, so you're going in and out, and that just happens to be exactly where the dead body is.
What is a dead body of?
They say human.
Oh. I begin immediately investigating.
Okay.
Now we'll move back to cover the secret door in case shenanigans.
Oh, okay. So the statue over a dead body, the dead body is real, the statue is the statue.
Correct.
Ah, I had interpreted it as a statue which included a dead body in its
No.
arrangement.
No.
Oh.
Investigate.
I am watching Neffy like the proverbial hawk.
Never do anything suspicious.
Corpse
I
robbing!
don't know where this has come from.
Grab your goblin hands, engage.
Uh-huh.
The body is that of a human man with a bird tattoo on the right shoulder.
Oh, is one of the os? Oh, no, that's wrong.
That is right.
right?
No, that was right.
Yeah.
That's the Ospreys, yeah.
The Pie Theft Victim Club.
Do I
Yeah.
recognize him?
You recognise him as the fourth person that's missing. You don't know him exactly, but you know that this is the body of that gentleman.
We're going to need his head. Possibly his hand.
Yeah.
How dead is he? As in, is he fresh dead, or is he 3 or 4 days dead?
You were watching me to see if I did anything bad.
So, what you were
It's a reasonable
told,
question. I haven't taken his head off yet.
what you were told
Doesn't
by
matter.
the thieves that you rescued was that he was attacked by the whatever the creature is that they fell into, and they believed he was killed there. It does look like he's been attacked by something with rather large claws, but you get the feeling that the reason why he's dead is the dagger that's been plunged into his heart. It's a very tacky dagger. It's the kind of thing that you might think that the Morlocks might have used. Slightly more ritually, because it's better weapons than they normally use, but yeah, it's a fairly crude looking sacrifice if you had to put your finger on it. Anybody that's kind of looking around that area, which of you are trained at religion?
Yes,
Yep.
believe so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's you and Neffy, so
Yep, I
you are
am.
the people to be looking over that. Neffy, you look at the whole thing, the whole picture, because obviously you've spotted the corpse. You look at the whole sort of picture of the whole thing. There is no divinity being worshipped here, as in there is no well-known goddess. However, it's relatively easy to pin the shape of the statue that they're making to the crude artwork that's painted on the wall, so the two match up. But more importantly, they match up to the painting of Belcora that you saw up on the island on the previous level. It would appear that the Ghost Queen Morlocks worship Belcora.
Okay.
They're not going to last long.
Mm-hmm.
No, probably not.
In addition to that, you find a number of items on the body. You are being watched, just so you're aware. So-
No, I might be stealthing, but carry on.
it would be thievery, but fine.
Fine, thievery.
A bloodstone, a softly glowing small chunk of stone which appears to have a rune carved into it,
Ooh.
and a sickly green gem. I am assuming everybody will want to try and identify the things that... I mean, do you have Read Aura? So are you able to work out which of these things are magical?
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
Okay. So the bloodstone is not magical. It is just a bloodstone. Looking at that and with your knowledge of things that are valuable, you believe that that is worth 10 gold. Then the then the sort of stone with the rune carved into it. You are able to identify that, Nephi, as a rune stone with a +1 weapon potency rune
Nice.
put into it. And then the gem, you don't know, but Invar, having a look over the shoulder, realises that is a fear gem, which is a single shot talisman that when you strike somebody with a weapon that is attached to, you can, as a previous action to the strike, choose to burn the fear gem, and if you hit, it will cause the frightened condition on what you hit. But it's a single use.
Mm.
And that is what you have found in this room.
When we stop for a rest, I assume we can work out what to do with said items. Shall we just put them in someone's backpack for now?
Yeah, let's do that.
Sounds reasonable.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I can take them if needs be.
Okie dokie.
Moz will take a moment and we'll walk over, unless Nephi's half inched it, take the rather gaudy dagger out of the individual.
No, I'd have taken that.
Okay.
Wait.
Don't worry. He'll have a look, and if it's not there, then he won't carry on walking over. That's fine. No, it's cool.
Try
It's
it.
I wouldn't be sneaky about it. I'd be like, "Oh, another dagger."
cool. That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, when you pick up that dagger, by the by, you are pretty darn certain it's useless. No, it's rusted. It's probably only sharp at the tip. They probably only managed to stick this guy because he was already particularly badly injured. And even then, it wouldn't
Offer
have
it to
been.
Moz.
It wouldn't have been pleasant.
Do you want it?
Well, yep. And Moz will basically tuck it into a space in his bandolier. Not fully stowed, but probably only one action to get a hold of it.
Mm-hmm.
For future reference.
For future reference.
In case.
Mm-hmm. Who says a message has to be verbal or written?
Indeed. Right.
Buggy secret door. Buggy secret door.
Secret door.
There it was.
There's a trapdoor.
There it was. Okay, so Inva stood at the back there.
I'm keeping an eye on
The other door now.
this one.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Yep.
That's fair enough. Again, it's a swollen door. We've met a few of these already, but you can push that one open without any problems. This 5-foot wide hallway features 3 alcoves along each side. Stone sarcophagi stand upright within each. A door leads out to the north.
Can I look for traps?
Sarcophagi, yeah.
This sounds like a trap.
Yeah.
It really does. Yep.
Oh dear, I've got you that paranoid already. Nephi,
Back in 2 ticks, guys. Carry on.
You have a look down that corridor and are unable to see any sign of any traps.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't really feel convinced, but okay. I inch forwards.
Yep, I'll put my hand on Nephi's shoulder. Basically ready just to...
Okay. As Nephi gets to there,
Oh, goody.
you're kind of looking down, Nephi, as you go down this corridor, and you kind of pass the 2 sarcophagi to one side, and you pass and you look into to the east, and you look at the sarcophagi there, this sort of shape of almost like a skeletal figure on the front cover of this sarcophagi. Okay, you turn the other way, and as you do, this humanoid face but it's just darkness. It's just shadow. There's no colour. There's no nothing. It's insubstantial, almost shadowy. Just leans out of the sarcophagi, and then a hand starts to reach forwards. And I'm going to get all of you to roll for initiative, but we're going to pause while we wait for Phelan to get himself sat down and discover what's on pause.
I'm saving Ghost Hunter for like one of my next level upgrades at some point in time. I'm going to specialise in hunting these ghoulies and goblins.
Yep, indeed.
Oh, did I roll so terribly that I didn't pick it up?
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's. So the thing with Spirit Sight is it's still a perception check. So if it's being stealthy, which it was, you can still fail to detect it.
Yeah, it gives me an opportunity to detect it, rather than being an actual thing. No, I know that.
Indeed it does. So, right, we'll swap a bit of music once Sirenscape wants to catch up. Sirenscape for all your music needs, guys. And we shall do.
And to pick it up for Heresy, I'll have to listen to their sci-fi stuff.
So initiative
Go.
is a tracker is already there, and we've got a little bit of battle music going. I would very much appreciate, please. Now, all remember, you get +1 to this because a certain someone is scouting for you. Okay, I did not roll terribly well, so that might be to your advantage. Let's go with Phelan.
28.
28. Moz.
12.
I mean, that could have gone a lot better for you. Inver.
13 plus 5 plus 1 gives me 19.
19. And Neffy?
Also 19.
Also 19. Not the best rolls. Not the best rolls, let's say it that way. Phelan, however, is first. So, Phelan, you can just about see this thing. To give people a nice sort of picture just to go by, this is what you see. So the silhouette of a human looking creature, but completely dark, almost like it is constructed of shadow. Phelan, what do you want to do? It's tucked away just inside the sarcophagi, but you can see enough of it that you can attack it if you so desire.
Sorry to disturb you. We'll be backing up now.
Well, it's not the worst idea.
So are you holding your action effectively? Or
No, I would like to diplomacy it because we're standing down.
okay, make a diplomacy check then. Yep, I'm happy for you to roll this.
13.
It doesn't seem to really be paying attention to you. You shout out that you're going to back off and run away, and it's just continuing to reach its hand out. You do still have 2 other actions.
Okay, call knowledge, probably on religion.
It would indeed be a recall knowledge on religion. I shall roll that one for you.
Okay, so we're on +8 at this end.
There you are indeed, yeah. So you look at this thing and you're just not sure. It could be a multitude of things, but you're pretty certain it's undead, but you can't really place anything else about it, unfortunately.
Not read enough monster manuals.
Indeed. This one might not even be in a monster manual. Final action.
I'm going to point it out simply because I don't know if Invar knows it's there.
Okay, yeah. So you make Invar aware of that. Okay. It is its turn. I rolled terribly, but it's got one heck of a bonus to its stealth. It is going to reach out and try and touch Neffy.
I'm not looking forward to this.
Consent matters,
Okay.
people.
Think about you, I touch myself.
Dear. An 18 on the dice with a plus 15 is a 33, which I think is going to crit you.
No, you completely missed. Did you say plus 15?
Yeah, I
That's
did.
just wow.
The hell? Good thing
So,
I built my backup character, isn't
you
it?
are going to take 14 points of damage as this thing doesn't just touch you, it's almost like its hand goes into your chest.
Oh, goody.
And it then as its second action pulls its hand back, and as it does, the rest of you, the light that's being cast behind Neffy, it's almost like a piece of Neffy's shadow that's cast on the floor disappears and pulls into the creature. Neffy becomes enfeebled 1.
Goody. Are you going to put that on?
Yeah, I will do.
the
I
character?
will indeed
Yeah,
do.
thank you.
And then for its next action, or its last action more accurately, it is going to step out of the sarcophagus. So it's going to do a step so that it doesn't provoke any sort of attacks of opportunity that potentially could have happened. Okay, that is that's turn. It is now Inva's turn.
Can I see it from where I am?
You, from where you are, cannot. Now
Okay,
you can.
now I can.
Yes, you can indeed.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Okay. Well, fudge. Yeah. Okay. I am going to try and recall knowledge. If it is a haunt or a spirit, that gives me a +1
Okay.
because of the spirit sense effect.
Yeah. So, I will roll that, and your religion bonus is +4. Okay, you are successful.
Right.
You believe this creature is something called a shadow. Literally, that's what it's called. They are incorporeal undead creatures. They are formed from the shadow of the whatever creature died to create them. What else would you like to know? You can know passive abilities. You can know attacks, anything special about that, or you can know its defenses.
Defenses.
Okay, so I'm pretty liberal with the sort of stuff that you get with defenses, so this is what I'll tell you. It has an AC of 20. It is resistant to all damage. It has a resistance 5 to all types of damage. However, anything that deals force or ghost touch or positive damage cuts through that. In addition, if the thing that hits them is not magical, it doubles that resistance. Okay. It is immune to disease, paralysis, poison, precision damage, and being knocked unconscious.
Bloody hell. Okay. I will share that with the group.
Okay.
Sounds like a plan to get the duck out of the pond.
Yeah. This. Okay. Is it a haunt or is it a creature?
It is a creature.
It is a creature. I mean, I'm gonna go with plan A. I'm going to try and intimidate it.
Okie dokie.
So, I'm going to. Well, I have a funky shadow too. Mine doesn't behave. And Invel's gonna look at it with that sort of really go back to bed kind of since she's apparently the group mother these days effect, and to try and intimidate it.
Okay. I would like you to make an intimidation check, please.
Thought you might. Okay, so I am trained at that, and that has a +7 on it.
Mm-hmm.
3 on the dice, so I'm going to use my hero point
That's fair.
for a 14 on the dice and 21.
21. Okay. You stare down at this thing, and for a while you just realise its will is just so strong. You find a bit of inner resolve, you start pushing past, but it just doesn't seem to break. Even that amount of effort, your forceful nature and that extra bit of power that you've got as being a hero doesn't break this creature down. It is not affected by your intimidate check.
Reaction, speech, get the fuck out of here to the party. I'm out of actions, but you know.
It is Neffy's turn.
Run.
I listen to that advice and I back up.
Yep. Moles clears a hole.
Okay, so that is one action to get you to there. You are quite fast. Is there anything else you want to do?
I think because I took that potion, so I don't have any more potions, so that's annoying. No, there's not much else I can do at this point, so no.
Nothing at all? Not even going to try and medicine yourself or anything like that?
I don't.
You are not trained in medicine. It's probably not the safest thing for you to do.
No, that was. I've got 2 hit points left. Like, let's not take that risk.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough. So you're just gonna. That's it. You're not even gonna ready in action just in case.
I'll ready to shoot my crossbow if it comes. Yeah, not that that's gonna do much, but if I had to.
Yeah, that's fair enough. So if it tries to come through the door or anything like that. Moz.
Yep, having watched Neffy clear past, you'll basically keep a wary eye and fall back to the door.
Yep.
And close the door behind them.
Okie dokie. You close the door, and we shall.
1, 2, and I can't do a third.
Okay.
Hold the door.
No. In fact, third action. He will clear a 5-foot step away from the door. So he has the ability to use his reach weapon
That's fair.
if it comes through the door.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
And after a minute, 2 minutes, you realise that whatever that thing is, it is not following you.
Right.
And breathe.
So let's get a heal spell dropped on Neffy, and then some. If we've got 10 minutes, I'll do some treat wounds.
You've
Please,
definitely.
because I owie.
You've almost certainly got as long as. Well, you appear to have as long as you want. It does not seem to be progressing into the chamber at all.
Right. Well, let's start with. Actually, since I've only got one heal left, we'll start with the. No, I'll keep that heal on there because I've got a wand of heal, which I will trigger off at her.
Okay. So, yeah, you pop the wand off.
So that I'm guessing that is as per casting the spell as I would
Correct.
normally cast it.
It is indeed.
So that's 14 back for Neffy.
Okay.
Thanks.
Neffy, the one thing you realise is after you've run out the room, you've had the thing cast on you, it's been a couple of minutes, that feeling like a piece of you is missing that's making you feel uncomfortable, that has not gone away.
Oh, shit.
I really want to get in there and get my piece back. Doesn't feel right.
Right now, that thing's going to be tough as boots for us to hit consistently. We'll get it back for you. No one's going to be left unwhole, but for now, that's a problem. Either we push on and clear out this strike, or we fall back. We take a little bit of time in town, and we bring down some ghost busting gear.
Who are we going to call?
I don't know, but
Rin.
yeah.
Let's see if we can do the Drake and then hole up, I guess.
Okay.
Or head
Neffy
up.
is really unhappy about this. She's like, oh, okay.
Are we... Is there any other healing going to be done before you move on to do that?
I'm saving my last one for battlefield emergencies.
Yeah, I think we'll give...
Give
We
Moz
check.
some healing.
Right, how long's it been since Moz got patched up last with bandaging?
So the last time you did Mars was the fight against the Morlocks, the two Morlocks in the chamber. I would say after doing the whole sneaking through and dealing with the various traps in the corridor, then the Grothlut, then the conversation with it's been an hour. You've had an hour.
Okay, let's get some. Let's get some on Moz. That's 16.
Oh,
Is a success.
So
Good.
that's 7 hit points for Moz.
puts me on 29 out of 36. That is a damn good place to be.
Okay, right.
After you've gone round, we'll have a potions and things check.
And if we can take another 10 minutes,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to refocus and cast Heal Animal on Olerin
Yep.
for 7.
Ooh, do I think holy water would do damage on it?
Holy water is pretty useful on undead. Full stop. So, yes, probably.
Okay. Has anybody else got magic?
The +1 on my halberd qualifies.
As does the +1 on
My
spear.
rapier.
Okay, and I have a +1 something or other as well.
Neffy, your crossbow. Currently, it's fairly mundane, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It might be
Yeah.
worth it before we bust this thing in, because busting makes us feel good. We might have to spend some time and ask Olerin ask Phelan to shift that +1 rune that you have.
I mean, we could ask Olerin. I don't know if he'd do it.
The
might not be able to, but failing.
the badger can't really wield a hammer.
More after the mushrooms, and occasionally a snake.
A snake.
A snake, yeah.
So, Matt, which of my spells will do the right sort of damage?
So
Not focus.
you, having looked at the holy water, actually the holy water would not do much of anything because it does good damage rather than positive damage, which is annoying, but unfortunately the way that is. So in terms of stuff that you can potentially do that would be reasonable, firstly you can cast heal on it, because heal does positive and
Oh,
therefore
I have
would
disrupt
damage
undead as
it.
well.
You also have Disrupt Undead,
Oh, cool. Okay.
which does positive damage as well. So those two spells would cut through its resistance, no problems whatsoever.
The Sepulchral Mask, will that?
Sepulchral Mask does mental
It's
damage, so
It's divine, so it's magic, but I don't know if that counts for the damage resistance thing.
so it would mean that it would take 5 less points of damage, not 10 less points of damage, if that makes sense.
Which only does 1d4 in the first place, so that's kind of useless.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but your Disrupt Undead would do full damage on it, as would Heal do full damage on it automatically.
So it's sounding like we have got some things that will tackle this. If we think about it.
Right.
What do we want to do?
Do we need to tackle it?
Eventually,
Do we
but
need
not
to
now.
go this way?
Okay.
I think this is linked into that Oogie Woogie
Yeah.
Blue Light rubbish. But
Mm.
right now, that's not our immediate concern, maybe, if we're going to exploit these Morlocks.
Yeah. Okay.
If we're going to take advantage of them, we need to clear out this Drake and maybe leverage this reported king.
Mm-hmm.
So pocket this for now, come back, rid of this particular plane of existence of it, and get whatever it took from Nephi back.
Yeah.
Okay. That is depending on how Nephi feels as well, because it's a chunk of you, bud.
Hmm. I want the part of me back, but I appreciate that's not our current mission. But I'll tell you if I start to feel worse, because I don't know how long I'm going to feel okay.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
Smash this Drake, then get back topside.
Hmm.
Okay. You head to the other door.
My
Saying,
Duskwalker.
go on.
Does my Duskwalker lore and background give me any ideas of what it might have done
Ooh.
or how it might affect her?
No,
Actually, I've got Undead Law, I think.
you do.
And I have
Wouldn't
that.
be bad. Crazy. Do I know anything? Does this trigger me in any kind of helpful and useful manner?
So with Undead Law, and
I think it's
that
non-specific.
roll just there, and if you focus in on like what you know about the shadows and what they can do and all the rest of it, the first thing that strikes you is that seemed like a very particularly well built shadow, and by that I mean most shadow creatures are like thin and wispy and a little bit badly formed. That one seemed to be exceptionally put together, which makes you think it's not a normal shadow, but there's something about that one that was a bit different. That said, when you then think about what shadows can do, and it clearly was a shadow, it just seemed to be particularly impressive. They have an ability called Steal Shadow, and they literally consume and absorb a part of a creature's shadow. What that does is it makes a creature enfeebled, which lasts 1 hour each touch that is successfully taken a piece of shadow. If a creature is ever touched 3 or more times and has its shadow consumed each time, another shadow will spawn.
Mitosis.
Interesting.
And the target's shadow is then permanently severed from its body.
Oh.
I will relay this to Nephi.
Well, I'm glad we left the room.
Yeah, so am I. Let's endeavour to not have you at the front next time.
Well, everybody keep their distance, really.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So this room is less shadowy.
We
We
hope.
hope.
And the face just merges through the other wall and we all run the way.
Only a few fragments of shelving that once lined what appears to be a pantry remain today. This room is notably stripped of pretty much anything. Now that you think, now that you have a look around here, it looks like almost this room was ransacked at some point. Fairly, not recently, not within the last few days, but certainly within the last few months.
Listen at doors.
Doing some of that there listening. You
Here
listen.
we go again.
You listen at the doors, and you do not hear anything.
I'm seeking really bloomin' carefully for any other weird shit.
Yeah, I mean, you're still stood back at the other door, so. But you do not notice anything back there.
Right, me. Join the party. There we go.
Okay. So yeah, you listen at the doors. All of you listen at the doors. You do not hear anything.
I open the door that I'm next to.
Okay. This opens into a 5-foot wide corridor with a set of stairs that head north, leading down.
Oh, I don't want to go down there. That's some stairs. I try the other door.
Going
Before
down.
Becki closes the door, I'll throw in some caltrops just on the top landing piece and then close the door.
Okie dokie. There are now caltrops on that door. That's fair enough.
I'll give myself one set of caltrops.
Yeah, so you push open the next door. You find another 5-foot wide corridor. It heads to the west. After the sort of first 10 foot of this corridor, there is a door that heads south and a set of stairs that head down, but not into, like, it's not down and you can't see the bottom of them. It's down, but after about 10 foot, you see it opens into a natural chamber of some description.
I want to go first.
Okay. You want to or you don't, Nev?
Well, the last time I went first, something stole part of my shadow, so I'm not sure if me going first is a good idea right now.
In that case, then, I think I've got a better reaction option when it comes to things than you, so
Yeah.
sure, I'll walk in first. I'll point to the door to my side as we do and then step past, and
Okay.
you can check that, though, Naffy, if you wouldn't mind.
I'll listen to the door.
You listen at that door, and you are comfortable that you do not hear anything. However, just as a cursory look and general thing, one of the strange things about this door, it's locked. There is a clear bolt in the door frame that is barred.
On this side?
Oh, so it's not like a lockpick. It's actually
no,
barred
you would have
from
to
the other side.
as in there's a bolt, there's a deadbolt. You'd have to unlock it.
Those things touch me.
Oh.
Interesting. What's down the bottom of the stairs, Moz?
Yep. I'll keep an eye out down here. You check that door.
Okay, as you head down into that space there, at the north end of this small cave, the mouth of a swampy, flooded cavern yawns. A few ruined rowboats lie in heaps on the floor of this cavern, strewn next to tangles of coiled rope and remains of a pulley system hanging from the ceiling.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'll effectively ready an action, which is basically an
under
action
that
to
hole.
strike. Beffy, do you want to try that door, or are we pushing into this?
I don't think it'll open. I think it's bolted shut.
You reckon you might be able to pick it? As in, you might be able to sort of wrangle your tools through to...
Okay. Then I'll have a go at picking the lock.
Okay.
As I once asked someone, the difference between archaeology and grave robbing is about 50 years.
There is no lie in that.
Make
There's no lie. That is
make
quite
a-
literally the difference.
Make a thievery check.
Love it.
23.
Oh yeah, no problems. While it's clearly a bolt that's sort of built into the door, you realise that there is a hidden place within the door itself to sort of get some lockpicks in and start to turn the mechanism inside, and the bolt slowly but surely slides itself out of the door. And as just with any other door now, you can just push it open, considering you've got the athletic skill to push it open. So off you go.
I'm going to do it.
Yeah. The walls of this octagonal chamber are adorned with swirling runes carved into the stone and then filled with dull silvery metal. The floor is polished smooth as is the ceiling 10 foot above.
Okay. I step in.
Okay. You step into the chamber. Nothing happens. Seems just to be an empty chamber.
I investigate the room and see if there's like anything hidden or...
No, nothing in here hidden.
That's weird.
It vaguely reminds you of a space that you found on the first floor.
What was in that space?
Well, you,
At the lift.
I believe not the lift. The lift was on this floor, slightly further over.
Yeah.
But
Wasn't that the teleportation broken gubbins
It
thing?
was. This very much reminds you of that, but this one is intact. It's just not active.
Can we... You said there was runes or something. Should we damage the runes so things can't teleport from it?
It's an option. You could do to the upstairs one what's been done to this one, but you with your arcane senses, you know that this is not working. As in, it wouldn't even be able to be used. It's completely dead. It's turned off.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's less bad then.
What do we need to turn it back on? See myself out.
You do that, Jay.
Okay.
You do that.
I'm gonna leave it, close the door, and then relock it.
Okay. That's easy enough. You know how now, so it's not a problem. Okay.
Do we search around down here?
Yep, can do. I was just waiting for you to make sure that that area was clear before we step into it. Oh, that's a whole bunch of wet.
So as you pop your head around the corner there, and certainly not the most stealthy of individuals out of the group. But
Step, hold action. Step, hold
what
action.
you noticed is that as you turn to that sort of northern area, there's a tangle of roots hanging from a low ceiling of a flooded cavern, the roof of which is a mere 3 foot above the murky waterline. So you've got this sort of thing there. However, as you pop your head around that sort of space, just about, you do notice something. With what you can best describe as the methodology of a crocodile. This head, this elongated head, just the eyes just above the water level, this creature is slowly but surely, having heard you guys sort of banging around and moving about, starts to move towards you.
Do I have enough time to basically hold an action to attack and hold this choke point again?
No, no, you do not. As this large, I mean medium-sized, but this large creature surfaces from the water and begins
Ooh.
to force itself along the through the gap. Not very well, because it doesn't have particularly good legs, but rears its head up and is about to bite down on you. And that's where we're going to finish, because that's an hour and 15, so we can do this in the next one. We'll see you next time, guys. We're gonna go and have a nice cliffhanger, like I always like. We'll see you next time, guys. Bye bye, and thank you everyone for watching Random Encounter. Please like, subscribe, comment, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye.